Hello everyone, this is Critic giving you another game 2 in the series between EG's Demuslim versus AAA's Nerchio. Game 2 taking place on Testbug, and as I promised, Demuslim changing up his race this time around and now playing as Terran. So this is going to be Terran versus Zerg. And it's always very interesting to watch a player actually change his race during a matchup like this, as Nerchio doesn't know what to expect. Good look at home story. And now, so we're going to have Nerchio spawning as the blue Zerg at the 7 o'clock location, and over here we are as the red Terran at the 3 o'clock position as this game now gets underway. Testbug, a map that only has 3 spawning locations. A very, very nice map. One of my favorite maps that is not currently part of the Blizzard map pool. It does allow for a rather easy to defend natural expansion here. Third bases are in abundance as well. So it's very easy to get this game into a macro style, but because of the rather wider front door, it is also very easy to put a lot of pressure off of 2-base play. So we'll see if we get 2-base play from Demuslim compared to Nerchio's perhaps 3-base play, as Nerchio did expand rather quickly as well. So Nerchio currently just power droning away. We don't see anything coming in from him at this time. It looks like a hatchery may be placed down, as yes, it is going to be a 14 hatchery, perhaps followed by a 13 spawning pool, as the drone now scouting out in the other direction. Nerchio getting a little bit of a happy smiley face there, as we are now getting a barracks placed down here. So this is going to be a 1 racks or a double racks build here on Testbug. SCV now making its way out, and without a supply depot here, this drone may be able to get sight and be able to perhaps suspect that his opponent is either going for a fast command center or double racks. He does not scout out this location here. He really needs to be on the lookout for another barracks. He doesn't see another barracks, and now that SCV is going to try to hold position, and now, building down the supply depot, and I believe this is going to be bad news for Nerchio. Or bad news for Nerchio. The barracks most likely will... it is not going to lift off. I thought it would actually try to lift off and then land here. It is going to land here, start training Marines, and with a barracks now down here, it is going to really cut down on the walking distance. He can in fact just try to get the Marines to rally into this location, as 1 Marine already on the move. A 2nd Marine most likely is going to be trained, as there is going to be a lot of Marine pressure here by Nerchio. Nerchio already has a drone to try to set up and be a spine crawler, and we are going to be getting a bunker. Unable to do so. The creep coming in at just the right time, and drones now coming over as well. This one poor SCV needs to get the heck out of there, as there is a bunker now finally being placed down. The Marine running away from the drones. The SCV is not going to be able to do very much, and I believe Nerchio will be able to easily handle this bunker pressure, as there is not any more SCVs coming in. 3 Marines though, so a lot of Marines now coming in. Zerg is now trying to come in across the field, may get off a decent surround onto that 1 Marine. 1 Marine now down. 2 more Marines may get lost, as well as the Marines are now trying to back off, but it's going to be 4 Marines against a lot of Zerglings, so that 1 Marine getting some distance there. Both sides battling it out, and the Zerglings just cleaning up the Marines. It looks like the Demuslim may be able to finish off the 6 Zerglings with 6 Marines. So taking a look at the losses, you can see the losses are now much, much higher for Demuslim, even if you account for the fact that that 1 bunker could have been cancelled. It is still 50 additional resources at this time. Queen now down over here. A spine crawler is in position as well. I believe the Overlord did in fact know, he did see that there was that barracks there, now lifting off. So we are going to be getting perhaps a little bit more base defense, as we are also getting a command center by Demuslim and going into double gas play. Double gas play by Demuslim. No additional SCVs on gas though at this time. Finally transferring some over, as well as he's getting more barracks down over here. He wants to be able to get off a very, very nice wall to protect himself, as an Overlord now making a slow trek to see when the expansion is finally taken in. Nerchio still flying around with this slow Overlord, doesn't see much of anything, as the Demuslim now going to be establishing this command center in just a moment. At some point, Nerchio should be moving out, trying to take him another expansion, while Demuslim sitting on about 300 minerals. That is a rather unorthodox move at this stage, as he really needs to be able to dump and train up a lot more units. You should not be having that many minerals at this time, as a Zergling able to run in and see the command center. Marines are going to be able to come back over here, take down that Zergling rather easily, as the SCVs are now being transferred to the low ground. We are getting a factory, 2 factories in play, in fact, so this may turn into a game of Hellions. Meanwhile, we are teching into Tier 2 with double extractors. Now, Nerchio at this time also going into double extractors or triple extractors now. He wants to get a much stronger gas economy and 2 scans, so apparently he's saying that, did you actually scan me twice on accident? And I have no idea what Zerg can do. So it looks like the Muslim not really quite sure what Zerg can do. And now we can see tech labs are being placed down. It looks like it is going to be Marine tank. No, actually adding on the reactors. So it is going to be those blue flame Hellions that I predicted a little bit earlier. Mules greater than Zerg. So apparently Nerchio thinks that Protoss... Protoss and Terran are better, and Nerchio saying that's a bad joke. Yeah, I'm not going to give any comments. There is that 3rd expansion that I was expecting to come in from Nerchio at around the 8-minute mark. You can see that he did place that around the 8-minute mark there, so he is establishing that. We are getting a Roach Warren and also an Evolution Chamber as well. So Roach Warren, Evolution Chamber, perhaps some missile upgrades in order to counter the Infernal Pre-Igniter as well. And yes, no, it's going to be claw upgrades, so I can't make any predictions of this game. As a Queen now currently sitting down over here and over here as well, with no real tier or tech to tier 2 buildings in play. Currently running off of 3 racks, it looks like it's going to be a mass Hellions. And I don't think that the Muslims really going to be successful with this army. Roaches are going to be able to deal a lot of damage, especially as the Glial Reconstitution is being completed. And the claw upgrades do concern me just a little bit, as the claw upgrades obviously are not going to benefit the roaches, as the roaches are definitely a missile upgrade. And now SCVs coming out, and the SCVs, are they going to try to do an all-in? So the SCVs are now trying to move out with an all-in, and you can see the Zerglings now trying to move and run by over here, and the Zerglings are just going to run straight into the base. The Marines are now pushing out, the Zerglings running in, pretty much going to see everything it needs to see. The Hellions Blue Flame research has been completed, as the SCVs and the Hellions are now making a move out. We can see a lot of roaches, some spine crawlers over here, and is this all-in going to work out? Probably not, as the Muslims Hellions get away from him. The Marines are now coming in. The SCVs are not on auto repair. They perhaps should be, to try to repair up some of those Hellions. As the Zerglings are now trying to run by, Blue Flame Hellions will be able to finish off all of those Zerglings rather easily, as the Marines and Hellions are now trying to push forward. Roaches trying to push in. Marines getting a lot of damage. The Hellions also getting a lot of splash damage as well, even though these are armored units. Marines are continuing to push. SCVs absorbing a lot of damage, and this is a lot of Marines over here. 23 Marines battling it out against only 6 Roaches. Banelings are trying to be trained up, and it looks like this mass Marine Hellion army is actually going to do the job. 2 Banelings are being hatched right now. You can see the double Banelings nest for some reason trying to be trained up there. 2 Banelings now pushing in and now taking down a lot of those Marines, but there are still enough Marines to finish off the rest. More Zerglings are trying to come in, but the Blue Flame Hellions finishing it off. And now with so many Marines, it looks like Nerchio going to fall to this all-in. You can see Overlords are now getting shot down as well, perhaps trying to supply lock Nerchio. Nerchio nowhere near being supply locked at this time, as a lot of the drones and the roaches are now trying to hide off onto the low ground. Are any additional units being trained at this time? 1 Hellion getting a little bit out of position there. There are going to be a couple of Banelings, as the Marines are now trying to take down the last of this Roach over here. The Roach is going to get taken down, and now in come the Baneling. Banelings are rather split, and the Marines are up on the high ground. Decent split there. Army 900, so it's still larger of the Marines as the Hellions continue to reinforce. More drones. Wow, that was a perfect lineup, and Nerchio losing a ton of drones right there. Definitely going to be feeling the pains and the effects of that for quite some time. The 3rd base still has a decent number of drones, but this is going to be a rather uphill battle. Taking a look at the harvester count, 8 harvesters versus 12. But those 3 mules are really keeping them in this game. The Muslim trying to get off more and more drone kills. Doesn't look like it will be able to do so, as more Marines. Where are those Marines? Down over here, getting some damage onto some Roaches. But yeah, 2 Roaches versus 1 Marine. nothing really to write there about. We are getting a lot more Marines still being added to the group, more Hellions still being added on as well, as the Muslim tries to get his economy back under control. We are currently taking a look at 4 drones being trained, 2 SCVs, 2 Hellions, and 2 Marines. The Roaches have a lot of work to do, as 1 Hellion gonna get taken down. Oh, not taken down. Barely able to stay alive. SCVs coming over to repair production. We have 3 Marines still being added. The Hellions also being added once more, as the Hellions perhaps looking to get even more drone damage. Taking a look at the worker kill count. Let's what is the worker kill count? Let's hit back to everyone. 42 compared to 37. And a quick corruption. A brilliant move there. Stopping the training on 2 Hellions, and this one Overseer will be able to continue to corrupt and delay this factory time and time again, and this is really going to hurt the production of the Muslim. As Nerchio, getting off another corruption there. You can see the Marines and Roaches. Marines just going after another Overlord. That's going to get taken down. And the Hellions, once again, making another move. All of these creep tumors going to get destroyed and cleaned up, making it even more difficult. The Roaches are going to have a bit of a problem, as the Marines should consider trying to take down the evolution chamber. The Marines are now starting to push in. The Banelings on the far side may be able to come in and get some splash damage there. A decent Marine split, but more Banelings finishing off the rest. And now Nerchio, once again, the Hellions looking to deal even more drone damage, and more drone damage still to be had. Taking a look at the Harvester count, 15 compared to 21, as the Roaches once again reinforce. And now Siege Tanks being added. So Siege Tanks being added, double training Hellions. The Siege Tanks are there not for siege mode. Siege Tanks deal a lot of damage towards armor units. They attack rather quickly, and they also have an important range of 7. So with that range of 7, he's going to be able to get a lot of damage onto those Roaches. The Roaches are now trying to push their way out. No, they are trying to push their way out here. The Roaches are now scampering away, but anytime they engage, they have to be very careful, as the Siege Tank with a range of 7 will be able to get off a decent blast there. Hellion once again on the move. It looks like it is going to be taking a long trip into this location here, as the Roaches are now gathering in the center portion of the map, activating this El Naga watchtower. Siege Tanks once again still on the move. We are now getting into pathogen glands, so infestors would be the perfect counter as to this, as the Hellion getting even more drone kills, lining them up, getting more damage. Another Roach, another drone getting killed, 3 more getting killed there, and now pushing out in the center portion of the map here. The Marines, Hellions, and Siege Tanks on the move. The Hellions really should not be driving too far ahead compared to the rest of these Siege Tanks, as the Hellions now coming back over here pretty much sees nothing, and Nerchio may end up losing this hatchery, but now reinforcements getting lost in transit. The Hellions able to get some damage, as the Roaches are now trying to catch up. There are 3 Siege Tanks here, but there are enough Roaches to perhaps one-shot a Siege Tank fairly easily. Taking a look at the army sizes, we can still see that the Muslim significantly ahead, as he's still training up more and more units. Non-stop production off of these units here, as the infestors get off a nice fungal growth. Siege Tanks now trying to battle it out. The Marines are coming in. Siege Tanks are going to get destroyed. And now Nerchio finishing off the Siege Tank here. The Hellion is trying to get more damage, and it doesn't look like any more damage will be had, as the Roach is going to battle straight for that Siege Tank. Down it go. Infestor gets taken down as well. But I think Nerchio really taking the upper hand in this battle, as the Muslim not really knowing how to use Terran to its fullest. One of the downsides of trying to play all 3 races is that you're a little bit rusty with all 3. The Muslim had a slight advantage, but he was not able to continue it. As the Siege Tanks are now in position, there are a couple Marines over here. Another fungal growth could be coming in. Yeah, and with one fungal growth, Zerglings now surrounding and swarming. There's the GG by the Muslim. So the Muslim losing to Nerchio with Terran against Zerg. Stay tuned for another game where I believe the Muslim chooses Zerg, and it will be a mirror match. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening.